Hi everybody, welcome back to The Balancing Act. I'm Danielle Knox and I am joined by celebrity chef Michelle Bernstein of Mishi's Restaurant. Thank you so much for being with me this morning.
Thank you for coming to my little humble abode.
There's nothing humble about this, let me tell you right now, because one of the things that struck me, I have to tell you, when I walked in was the decor. I feel like I'm walking into just luxurious, Barbie house. Was that kind of the influence?
Absolutely, yeah. My sister and I just wanted to bring back what we had in our childhood, and she designed the most fabulous Barbie houses. So, yeah, we brought back the 70s a little bit.
It looks great.
Thank you very much.
Here's the thing I think is interesting is that you were a ballerina.
Oh, yeah.
Ballerinas don't eat.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah. And now you have this wonderful restaurant. How did you transition from ballerina to chef?
Yeah, that was 50 pounds ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And so how do you go from a ballerina who really has to, food is, I don't want to say food is the enemy, but it really isn't the focus.
Food is actually
the enemy.
Yeah, unless you're cooking it, which is what I decided to do.
Okay.
When I started cooking, I was 88 pounds, and I didn't really have to eat that much when I started because it wasn't about tasting my food. It was about reproducing. And when I finally fell in love with things like duck liver and all that good stuff, and I started tasting, I realized, okay, well, maybe I can eat. After a few years of college studying nutrition, somehow it turned into this crazy career.
Look
if you would
at
have told me,
that.
I never would have known that I actually would have been a professional chef. I thought that was for those big, strong, manly types, that come to your table with a butcher's knife if you don't like the food.
Exactly, right? I think for a lot of women who are trying to balance it all, but do want to branch out and do their own thing, there's just this fear of starting their own business. Did you have that fear, and how did you overcome that?
There's always fear. I had fear, and I still, to this day, have fear. Sometimes I wonder if I will be unpopular, nobody will come in, seriously. But I think that you have to just control the fear and fill your mind and spirit and heart with passion. And drive that will drive you through that hard time. And if you've got a good product and if you have a lot of love for it and for people that will be enjoying it, you got to do it.
So how do you balance everything? Because you've got TV shows, plural, you've got restaurants, plural, you've got your husband, you've got all of this going on. How do you find that balance, Michelle?
Knowing that I'm not alone, that I can't do it alone. I'm only as strong as everybody around me. So thank God for a husband. Thank God for very good friends, family, and coworkers that I've been with a long time.
You cook with such style and such spice and, in the kitchen. So how does that transfer over to your love life? Do you, with your husband, you guys
How do you
work
think
together?
I got him with food?
Oh, you know what? So you'll have to teach me some of those recipes.
Anytime.
That
Absolutely.
actually, I think that is so wonderful. Do you have any tips for other women out there in terms of, because they always say the way to a man or even woman's heart is through their stomach.
That's right.
Any tips? Because I think a lot of us may look at cooking as actually something too difficult for us to tackle rather than the everyday kind of mundane stuff that we prepare for our families.
Well, it's funny, I always tell people to think about their background. However it is that you grew up is probably what you know best about cooking. So if there are flavors that you grew up with that you love, or that you know that your husband or wife or friends love, that's all about comfort. Comfort food is the way to people's hearts. And I always tell people, your last dish be just as good or better as your first.
Oh, that's great advice. And I have to tell you, as much as I love you, and you know I do, and as much as I loved interviewing you, you know what I'm looking forward to, right?
Everybody just wants my food.
Everybody wants your food, myself included. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, girl, are you ready to do this?
Are you ready to do this?
That is a good question. The answer is no, because I'm intimidated by this lady.
No, you're not. This is simple stuff here.
All right,
so
got my apron.
So that I don't get you dirty.
All right, sounds good.
So the first thing we're going to make is one of my favorites to start off with. It's a shrimp tiradito. All of this mayonnaise.
Okay.
Put that into this bowl.
Okay, got it.
And then
mayonnaise.
only 1 spoonful of this, which is called ají amarillo, which is a paste. It's a puree of yellow chili from Peru.
Ooh, sounds good.
So just 1 spoonful into that mayo.
Okay.
So this is going to be our topping for...
Oh, that looks good.
So this can go on, if you want, it can go on to the shrimp a good hour before you serve it to really soak in the flavor, or you can do it as we do it a la minute, which is right before it hits the dining room table. A little bit of that fresh cilantro.
Yummy.
Then I've got my favorite corn nuts.
I love corn nuts.
I know.
Oh, that's a great combination. I love
so
that.
delicious and so crispy. And
What else do we have here?
okay, well, we have something a little more funky. We've got rabbit loin.
Okay.
And it's wrapped in smoked bacon. Okay, and so all we do, what I've got here are dandelion greens, also grown in South Florida, and some delicious sweet carrots, and we're going to saute these up. With the dandelion green, it just needs to be braised just delicately.
Okay.
It is a little bit bitter, which I happen to like because you've got the sweet, the salty,
Exactly.
and the bitter all together.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much. It has been such a treat for me to be here with you this morning.
It's
I've
even
learned
more
some
of a treat
great
for me.
things. Oh, well, you are so wonderful. Mwah. Thank you. I do
Thank you very
appreciate it.
much.
And thank you for joining us here this morning on The Balancing Act. Be sure to tune in every weekday morning at 7 a.m. Guess what? I'm going to let you go because I've got some eating to do. What do you think I should try? I do want to try this rabbit.
Absolutely.
Actually.